Hey everybody, let's see what's new from WARHORSE Miniatures. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Paul Knapp coming to you once again from the Man Cave, and I've just received my first order for 2026 from WARHORSE Miniatures, owner Mike Pendergrast, who will be on my live stream show tomorrow night, January 27th, 2026. So let's take a look at some of his new figures that I've ordered and see how they stand up. So I don't know if you guys caught my pun about standing up, but if you follow my channel, you'll know my last video was on Spiria miniatures, and this is how they came without any stands. So I've had problems with them standing up. So I'm hoping Mike Pendergrast sent me ones with stands. Now, I don't know how many of you have ordered from WARHORSE Miniatures, but they do come packed very nicely. These things are not getting damaged at all. Not only did he put it in a packed box with paper, he then puts it in these hard cardboard boxes, almost like boxes you would store baseball cards in, I think, you know, something like that. And then inside that, you get more bubble wrap, and each individual one is bubble wrapped as well. So I'm going to open these up. Again, I ordered the his new World War II American Paratroopers because I'm working on a Market Garden playset, and I thought they would complement it very well. And then I know he was sending me a few extra things, so we'll review that as well. So let's open these up and put them on the table. Okay, guys, so here you go. The first review of the 8 poses. I believe these are the first ever World War II poses created by WARHORSE Miniatures. I got them both in what I call the prototype gray, which is the resin gray color that most 3D printers use. But he's also making them in green, which looks very close to kind of the waxy green color from the Marks figures, if you will. I'm sure this is probably the same green color that Scavenger Miniature uses. They do come in that brittle resin, so be aware of that. However, none of these were broke. Even when they come with rifle tips like this, Mike takes extra caution and puts this around it and tapes it on there to make sure, even though it's all in bubble wrap, it probably wouldn't break anyhow. He makes sure that none of the rifle tips come broke, so that's really sweet. So I'm going to go over each one of these figures individually, but just to give you an overview, this is how they unpacked. And again, I got one in the resin gray color as well as the olive green color. Okay guys, so the first pose we have is standing firing rifle. Again, this is US Paratroopers. I will show you a comparison in height to other figures at the end of this video. I know I had a complaint with my last video that I couldn't really tell the height and how it compared to others, so I will break out some other figures to show you, but this first pose is standing firing. Our next pose is kneeling firing. Again, no broken tips on the rifles. Very nice pose. Kneeling firing. Next up we have running with I would say hand down, arm down. Kind of a different pose, ducking down, I guess. Here we have a kneeling, probably officer or sergeant, calling up the rest of the platoon. Doesn't have anything in his hand. I thought for a second he had a grenade in his hand, but he doesn't. So this is a second figure kneeling. Look how thin the tips are on those weapons, man. You almost have to reinforce that when shipping them. So looking forward to seeing these painted up one day. I'm sure James Viola will get a hold of these and paint them up. Here we have a running pose. Can even see the sling on the rifle there. Man, I'm kind of rough with my figures. I throw them in a box a lot of times. I can see these being a little brittle and breaking on me, but super glue works every time. Now this is a second running pose. I almost thought it was a duplicate, but they are different if you look at them closely. Two different figures. This one even has a bandolier on. This one does not. He has a smoke grenade there. He just has a regular grenade, so I'm not sure if maybe they use the same lower body, different upper body, but you could always use two guys running. They both have their e-tools on the back, backpacks, but you can tell they are slightly different. So, and the eighth and final pose, you have a guy with a Thompson pointed downward, kind of looking around a building. All right, guys, so I know this is what you really tuned in for. You want the comparison, I get it. So I just picked out the standing shooting, which is the most erect type figure, I think. Get the height in here, so let me get my phone down as close as I can for you. Here is the latest on standing firing paratrooper from Toy Soldier Central, also 3D printed. Now you will notice he's a little bit taller, but look at the thickness of the base though. This is definitely a much thicker base, but I would say it's pretty darn close. Now again, Mike is saying that his figures are about 58 millimeter. I don't think they're 60 millimeter for sure. They might be a little bit beefier, but you'll see as I show them next to different figures. Here he is next to a CTS firing pose. CTS might be a little smaller. Not as small as Conte Brit though. I think the Conte Brit is even shorter than that. So the Conte Brits compared to WARHORSE Miniatures Paratrooper, I would say is slightly smaller. Next up, who is this? Is this Airfix? I believe that's an Airfix figure. It's a reissue, but definitely smaller. Next one up, the only Spirio one I have available was a Civil War guy that I just brought down. And now when I ordered the Spirio ones, I wanted them in 1/32 scale, so they should be a little bit smaller than Mike's figure here. It looks pretty close though. If I had him on a base and standing upright, I think it'd be pretty close. Now here is another Toy Soldier Central 3D printed, and this I would say is pretty darn close. Again, base might be a little bit bigger, but height wise I'd say it's pretty close. Now here is a Scavenger miniature. It's the only one that I had available real quick, and it's definitely smaller. If you see him up close, Mike's figure is definitely beefier. And then finally we have a vintage Marks figure, which actually isn't too bad. If Marks is true 1/32 scale, its height is not too bad. Like I said, I think if you intermix these with your other figures, like I do when I'm making my play sets, you're not going to know a little bit of a height difference. So again, I think Mike knocked it out of the park with these. So let's bring them all in here again and show you the 8 figures. And here they are in the, again, what I call the prototype gray color. You have 4 kneeling, or almost kneeling here I guess, and 4 in the upright position. I really think these will be a good complement to any buddy that's working on American Paratroop playset or diorama. I think you guys are going to really enjoy these. So make sure you check them out. And if you're available tomorrow night, January 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be interviewing the owner and operator of WARHORSE Miniatures, Mike Prendergast. So make sure you check that out. Now let's take a look at the extra that he threw in. Now this set is so cool. Mike saw that I was working on a playset called St. Louis Trading Company, and he said this would be a perfect fit, and these definitely are a perfect fit. Check these out. You got a trader or trapper here negotiating with 3 Native Americans. You got the stuff laid out on the blanket here, what he's trading or what they're trading for. So I think that'll be an awesome complement to my St. Louis Trading Company playset. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I think you guys will enjoy it. Had a lot of compliments on that one. So again, I want to thank WARHORSE Miniatures, and if you're available tomorrow night, please check out the live interview with Mike Prendergast. But until then, as always, thanks for watching, and keep on collecting.